Welcome, everybody. This is the Sundaze Brunch podcast. I am Bobby Matz.
I am Bronson.
And welcome to the podcast. This is episode number 1. If you're tuning in, thank you. Appreciate you. Glad to have your love and support.
Welcome to brunch.
Yeah, welcome to brunch. This is going to be the first episode, obviously. And upcoming episodes, we're actually going to be having like food and brunch food and stuff like that. So that's going to be a major component of the podcast, along with like the topics that we're going to be covering here. Ra, you want to fill them in on that?
Brunch is for the boys, first of all. We're gonna be talking about some popular topics. We're gonna be giving you guys a look inside our lives, our minds, the way we view shit. We're gonna be talking about a lot of random shit, some tour stories, some war stories.
Oh, you got to sprinkle that in. You got to sprinkle it in.
A little bit
of glue that holds us together, man.
A little bit of that sugar on top of the syrup. You know what I mean?
All right, so we're gonna jump right into it, and we're gonna go off a little bit of our backgrounds and whatnot. You know, if you are one of our long-term fans that's been there since the beginning, thank you so much. We really appreciate you. And if you're just getting here today, what's up? Welcome to the family.
Big facts.
I feel like a lot of our fans get to see a side of us through our creativity and our music and, you know, our output of content. But at the same time, I feel like, especially with this whole year and a half off from music, not really being able to see anybody face to face, a lot of people don't really, you know, know like more inside of our minds. And I guess so much like what makes us tick, what makes us what made us get into music, and you know, like what fuels the creative genius that is, you know, Ryan Bronson and Bobby Matz. And you know, we're gonna introduce a couple other artists and, you know, special guests later on throughout the series. But
yeah, for sure, like pre-pandemic, we were able to actually connect with you guys when we were touring all the time, and that's an element we've missed, and we want to give you guys more of that, so that way when we can tour again, can be on the same level and into the whole vibe, be on the same energy link, because the shows are all about the energy.
Yo, 100%. That's another big thing that like I feel like is becoming, like, I want to say like new age, but more people are paying attention to it, is people's energies.
Facts.
And you know, the frequencies and vibrations that they're getting off, you know, like I know it's cliche to say, but like, yo, I can sniff out a fucking hater from a mile away, bro.
Oh, facts.
You know, like some of this fake, you can see that written all over them.
Oh, what was it, man? What was it, Russ, that was like, I can tell a hater before I dap you up?
Yeah, bro, he's got a couple good ones. I got, you know, like, I can tell you a hater before I dap you up. Fucking, I can smell the hater in the air, change your perfume. Like, bro, bro, shout out Russ, man's a legend. But
absolute facts.
Nah, yeah, like it's crazy to see what you know, putting a population in a world on hold essentially, and you know, pretty much everyone lie dormant, you know, except for essential workers. Yo, shout out essential workers. Yo, they held it down. Y'all fucking held it down through the pandemic. You know, like, big ups to y'all, because I don't know how y'all did it.
Absolute facts. And shout out to fast food people, because in pandemic, I was drinking, I was ordering Grubhub.
Hey, yo, shout out the delivery service people. Y'all be getting paid a dog shit wage, and y'all be out here still doing it. So like, shout out y'all. You know, like, I know I've been there. I used to do that shit. I know Ryan used to do that shit, and like, it's cool if you need that extra cash, but like, yo, shout out for real. Shout out all y'all. Like, honestly, good.
But Bobby, we know why. Like, we'll talk about why I got into it here in a minute. But you got into it a little bit after I did, the whole music sphere. Like, what made you decide, like, hey, I want to venture in this shit too?
Yo, so it was actually kind of crazy, you know. When I actually do look back on it and really like dig back, because I don't know, you know, some people may be able to like pinpoint that exact day to where they're like, yo, this is it. And like, yo, all praise to y'all, because like, that's crazy. But like, there was never really a day that I was like, yeah, like, man, like, music's it. It just kind of like fell into my lap. But it's crazy because I grew up around music, you know, like my grandma, she was a music teacher. She ran the Valley Chorus, one hell of a piano and vocal teacher. So like anytime I was with my grandparents, I was always around real live music, you know, like nothing like today, like with the like heavily auto-tuned and everything, like nothing against that shit. Like some of that shit's a bop. But like I was around like real genuine music, you know?
For sure.
And like I kind of took that shit for granted, and it was just kind of like playing in my subconscious and shit. And then the T-Pain freestyling app back on like the original iPod touches and shit like that. I was chilling with Pat.
Yeah, you and my brother.
Yeah, I was chilling with Pat, and bro, we made The Wood Life, straight up a remix of Kanye West, The Good Life. And we was just having fun, and it slapped. It honestly, it slapped.
I ain't gonna lie, that shit was a banger.
That shit was a banger, and I remember we did that a couple more times, and then we used to freestyle on that shit. Yep. I could never freestyle, but all y'all would be going crazy on it. And then you, Zachy, and Pat put out Anxiety, and I remember busting on y'all like y'all a bunch of squares. And then, bro, you took me to the Mike Stud show. And that was like the first genuine, like raw, I guess like up and coming and like, so to say, like underground like scene.
Yeah.
And like, dude, there was like maybe like what, 50 to 100 people there that night?
If that, dude.
But dude, it was the energy.
Yep. It was a vibe.
The energy, the vibe, and just like everything. It just like, it felt right. I was just like in pure bliss, like happy, man.
Yeah.
And like I remember that was the day that I was just like, yo, Rye, tell me more about this music shit. And I remember you was like, oh yeah. And then bro, the rest is history. We fucking, we'll get into that story a little more. But yeah, man, like that's really what like got me into it. Like it was just a joke at first, man. It was just a joke. I was just playing fun. Off. Yeah, it was just fun, and like I didn't really like think anything serious of it. But yeah, dude. And I still to this day I still question like why I didn't like start like serious.
Yeah.
And like I think the reason why I didn't like jump right into it and be like, yo, man, music is it, is because like I don't know, I feel like I didn't want to fail at that point in time.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
But also, like, if we do look back on that, like, not to cut you off, if we do look back on that, our first shit was so not serious that had you taken it fully serious, we would never have, like, because I was just like, oh, blah, 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 we got to do this studio, fucking, blah, 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 get in there. And you were, like, your nonchalantness about it, like, made it, like, obviously it was always fun for both of us, but, like, your nonchalantness mixed with my like, oh, we got to fucking go.
It was a perfect storm and a perfect mix.
Yeah, like that was like the nonchalantness of it mixed with like the drive was like what made us fun on stage and fun to be around.
Yeah, just because like, I don't know, I feel like, I've been in the studio with plenty of other people and like shit like that. And it's just like, I don't know, like the chemistry that you and I share, especially even like since the beginning, like it's just crazy because like sometimes like it'll feel like the mood and the energy in the studio is like way too serious. And like I always like do something stupid or like funny and shit to like kind of like bring that mood and like check it, bring it back down into equilibrium. Same thing when I be fucking around too much, because I'm known to do that.
Yo, we know.
You always nip that shit in the butt. Like, yo, we gotta fucking work. We got due dates. We got shit to put out.
Yeah, and then you'll be halfway through a verse and I'll be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You be just antagonizing, bro. But anyway, so yeah, like that's pretty much the basic concept of like why I really got into music. And like, I guess like the biggest thing that I can say, especially like pursuing music still, over a decade later. Yeah. In the beginning, go for it. Like who cares if somebody picks it on you? Like, bro, your original stuff, it's not gonna be good.
Nah.
At the time, you're going to think it's the best thing in the world.
Facts. And also, whether you're at the top or at the bottom, people still going to have something to say.
Yeah. Everybody. And like, that's the biggest thing is like, go for it. And just like, just like close your ears off to any negativity because like Rye just said, like whether you're at the top or the bottom, Like with love comes hate, you know? So like if you are going to be affected by what people think about you and say about you,
You probably should just stay in your house altogether.
Yeah, just straight up stay in your house, bro. Because like if Timmy Two Bones 92 comments on your picture like, hey yo, like you be whack, and you get offended by it, she's like, bro, like you're gonna have a rough life, you know, like
facts.
But
I think like my way of finding and falling into music was similar. Like I grew up, my parents played music trivia in the car with me all the fucking time. My parents, big like lyric people, they're like, this song resonates with me, like listen to the words of this song, you know. And then like growing up in school and shit, like Zachy and Tobe were always stringing on their guitars,
always, bro,
playing that early like pop punk stuff. Like that shit was it. I remember we would like, my parents would take us to like beach vacations. Zach would go play like on the boardwalk and get tips and shit. And like
shout out OC Maryland.
Facts. And like I remember like at that time I hadn't really like learned how to sing yet. And I was like, I want to do something with music. I loved hip hop. Like you and I played basketball. So like hip hop was like a big part of that culture, like the hype up stuff. So and we started like really resonating with a lot of the lyrics in hip hop.
Yeah.
Maybe not some of the lifestyle, but a lot of like we were able to pick and choose what lyrics like resonated with us, you know? And I think like the combination of like liking hip hop and that vibe and that energy and that almost adrenaline that you got coming into the sporting event with hip hop. And then the adrenaline of that like match, like, okay, Zach's on his guitar, he's gonna leave this verse open, I'm a freestyle a verse.
Yeah, like,
and it was like, okay, I can't sing yet, but I can rap, I can put some words together, let's do that. And then I think Zach had a recording setup before it was the IMT Paint app. We did that shit for a minute.
IMT Paint app.
Yeah.
We were straight up we was rapping through Apple headphones on the Apple mic.
Yeah, dude. And then I remember one year I told my parents, I was like, I want this laptop and this recording equipment for Christmas.
I remember the original mic, the $100 mic that started it all.
Yep. And then Zachy came over. He's like, all right, well, I got this recording software. Hooked that shit up in the laptop. And then we just downloaded like free beats off YouTube and shit. And like, that's how like we started having fun with it. And then as like, once I started doing it, I was addicted.
Yeah.
Like, I think some people are like, I do this because like this reason, that reason. I think the mental health state that I started in when I first doing it, it was a release for me. And I was able to like the first time able to express what the fuck I was thinking or feeling like on papers. And then I think after that, it was like, on some level, I think I was actually addicted to it. Yeah, like I was trying to match that adrenaline level of that high of like, oh, this song is dope, let me do better. Oh, that song's dope, let me do better.
Bro, but
that shit's dope, let me do even better.
That's just being, you know, a creator. You know, like you should never be able to be like, yo, this is it. Like, I'm never gonna create something better than this.
Yeah.
Like,
and like
because like once you do that, like you're putting a ceiling on yourself. Like mentally, right there, done, bang, you just capped yourself
100%.
And like and dude, there's a lot of artists that have done that.
Oh, facts. I have friends that have done that.
Yeah. And it's just like, bro, like, dude, yeah, this was your best yet.
Yeah.
But like, bro, just think about it. Like you just wrote that, you just created that, you know, like,
yeah. And I got that.
You really think you're not going to create anything else that's going to top that? Like, dude, that's fucking insane.
Right. And like, I have this like extreme freak competitor in me too, where it's like, I want to be bigger and better than everybody else. But that doesn't come from like an ego standpoint. That just comes from a point of, I know I'm not as talented as y'all. I know that raw natural talent was never there for me, but I'm going to keep fucking working until I get there.
Dude, 100%. Like you say it all the time. Like, I have the raw natural talent. You got the raw natural work ethic. I don't have that work ethic. Hands, you know. Hence why.
You're welcome.
Yeah, dude, like, I don't know, man. Like, you bring it up, fucking Zachy and Toby. Shout out y'all. I know y'all gonna see this. And if not, I'm gonna fucking
Miss those fuckers.
I'm gonna force y'all to watch it when I come home. But yeah, dude, like that was crazy. You know, like I feel like we never really like noticed it, but like we did surround ourselves with
creatives,
and not only that, just like people. They even back in the day when
it was like, pure passion why they did it. They never wanted anything out of it. They just literally loved doing it.
Exactly. And like it was something that people could be like, wow, like someone can relate to the feeling that this gives me.
Yeah.
You know, and like I don't like, bro, I will never forget when you called me up and told me that you had booked our first show, bro. I was at the local mall. I was at the Arnott Mall.
I remember this shit. I was pissed at you.
And you call me up and you're like, yo, dude, we got a show. And up until that point, we had only been releasing music and it was just like, whatever. Like, dude, what had we
released? This shit's on YouTube.
Yeah, we had released Athlete Nation.
Shit that doesn't exist anymore.
I'm pretty sure fucking Condoms. And like a couple other ones. And I remember you were like, yeah, we booked our first show. And dude, the first thing that ran through my mind was no fucking way, dude. Like, this is not real.
And then the second thing that came through your mind was, I ain't going.
Dude, and then, dude, it was the second thing that ran through my mind. I'm like, I'm not fucking going to that shit. Like, there's no way I'm going to perform the shit that we have right now to a group of people that don't know us. There's no fucking way.
Shout out Scout for taking your place.
Dude, shout out Scout, man. What a absolute unit. But the second show I did make it to.
Yep. That was Webb, right?
Yes, that was Webb at
Montage in Rochester.
Yes, Montage in Rochester.
And our fucking thinking that we were cool tanks.
Please bring up some video of that. Please bring up some video of that.
I don't know that it exists, but we're going to try to find it.
It does exist. I know it exists. Just please, the people need to see where we came from and like appreciate what we are now.
Bro, we're going to be a meme if we do that.
I don't care. Make it. But dude, yeah, that was oof.
It wasn't good, but we thought it was.
Nah, but see, that was the thing is like, it was good. It was good because like we had fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know, and like that, and like the audience had fun with us.
Mm-hmm.
Like there wasn't anybody in the audience just kind of like, yo, these guys are fucking whack. Like, what the fuck? And like that's one thing that like I love about me as an artist, you as an artist, and especially like performing with you is just like, I don't know, like even if the crowd doesn't want to get involved, like we encourage it, and like by the end of the set, like the entire crowd is involved.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think we've ever had an experience like whether people are liking what we're saying or they're not liking what we're saying, where the crowd is just like not there with us. And I would 100% think that our connection to people is our energy.
Yeah, 100%.
And the fact that we're able to relate on some kind of level.
That part. And on top of that, it's just like
we had absolute horseshit songs when we were first doing those shows.
Absolute horseshit songs. I think when we actually went on tour with
Cam Beacons.
It was with Cam. Dude, we were performing songs that like we thought were the best ever. The best ever. Which like a few of them are still like classic bops.
Yeah, we got a few.
But at the same time, like out of what do we do? We had like a 25 minute set.
Yeah.
Out of that time, maybe I'd say like three
that we still probably play at shows now.
Yeah. Like were the main like meat of the set.
Yeah.
But other than that, it was just the way that we carried and like controlled the audience because like, I don't know. Like
100%.
We knew some of our songs were ass. And like, I feel like that's kind of what like drove us to, we were like, yo, like we're not at where we want to be on this facet of being a creator and like a performer,
100%.
but I know I can make up for it because I know how to connect with people and I know how to get people going.
Facts. And we had that interaction with the crowd. But also, like, to that point, do you think we would have, I mean, I personally I don't think we would have ever gotten to like even this level that we're at if we didn't fully believe everything we did was great.
Absolutely not. Delusional as fuck, man. Gotta be.
Literally, everybody was like, this shit is trash, bro.
And we were like, no, it's not. This is the hottest shit on the market.
This shit's gonna blow.
Bro, this shit is gonna be #1 on Billboard by tomorrow.
Yeah.
We believed it, every single one. And it never dulled. Still doesn't dull.
No. And the crazy thing is like that first time that like my shit charted, I look back at that album and I'm like, how? But the thing is, like, people believed in us.
Exactly.
Overall, like, and looking back, it wasn't like the songs were bad. We just didn't have the funding to like, or the know-how to make great sounding music.
Yeah, we were literally still
in a half-finished basement.
Dude,
or the Cad Ave attic.
Or the bro, shout out the Cad Ave attic, bro. But like, yeah, dude, like we just didn't have the necessary, I guess, knowledge at that point.
Everything we did and everything to an extent, everything we still do now is trial and error.
Extremely trial and error.
Like we had,
like from songs, from mixing, mastering, all the way down to marketing, bro.
Yeah, like everything's trial and error. And like we did tour every year, 2015, 16, 17, 18, and 19. We toured every single year.
Yeah. And
luckily, like not obviously the pandemic was a fucking terrible time for everyone. Terrible. But we were getting ready to kind of like rebrand the sound then anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for us during that time, like it was able for me to like invest in this like pop punk sound. And it was able for you to like invest in this is who I want Bobby Matz to be, and like this content and this process.
Oh, 100%, bro.
Like who we are. And now that that's like popping out, like I think when your project drops, like people are gonna see like, oh, he actually took his time to like get this shit right. And I think when my project came out, people were like, oh, he actually like changed it up. Like he's becoming more like himself. This feels natural.
Yeah.
And I think before there was, obviously we had those songs where we were like having that good time vibe where that felt natural. Like the Birthdays, the Get 'Em Highs, the vibe like this is like those records that are timeless and still continue to do numbers. Like you could feel that naturalness in them. But then the other records in there that we were doing and we were playing, we were like, this is dope because we need it to be dope.
Yeah, exactly.
It wasn't in a natural flow. It wasn't in a natural state of mind. It was like we forced this to like, be here. Whereas like now it's like everything that we do is in a natural creative state and it fits our personalities too.
Yeah, like I feel like one of the biggest songs to date that we have out that I feel like we created just because like we thought that we needed that at that point is Get 'Em High.
Yeah.
Dude, Get 'Em High. We wrote it, recorded it, had everything done for it. And what did it do? It fucking sat on your hard drive for what,
2 years.
I was gonna say 1.5 years, 2 years.
That was recorded pre-mixtape era and came out after the debut album.
Yeah. That came out. We shot the video for that part of it in Denver.
Yeah, we shot some of it in Denver. We shot some of it in Utah.
Stop. Yeah.
That's wild. So like, all right, so as we are getting like into like where we started with this and as we like progress into like our next topics, first track, you know, we got our first cast, we got to introduce ourselves, where we came from, where we're going, where we've been, you know. When the first time that you were told, because obviously we come from a town of like very small.
Yeah.
Like you say you want to do music there and people look at you as like, when are you going to get a real job? You know?
Bro.
When was the first time that you told people, hey, I'm going on tour. I have this shit dropping. When would you say like the first time people were like, okay, this could be a like actual option for you?
Probably 2015.
25th, like when we announced that first tour.
Yeah, when we announced that first tour, because my mom's always been a crazy supporter. And
shout out Mama Khan.
Yeah, shout out Mama Khan, aka now Mama Mills. Shout out my stepdad. He be treating her right and shit, you know. If you want notes on how to be a proper fucking husband, take notes from Craig. Anyway, but yeah, dude, I remember that my mom was always a supporter, and like every song that I would like make and I would make, she'd always be like, "Oh my god," and show it to everybody.
That's how my parents are too.
Yeah. And I remember I had told her, I was like, yo, like Ryan and I are going on tour. Like we're going. Like we're literally like gone, like going across country for like a bit. And she just looked at me and she's like, I'm so proud of you.
Yeah.
And then I remember when I told my dad, he was like, yeah, that's crazy. And I was just like, all right, fuck you too, dude. You know?
Nope.
Shout out Pops, but sometimes that man just be a hard ass for no reason.
You, me, and Ty all turning 21 on the same fucking tour.
Bro, I remember, like, it was crazy. We literally left. What was it? We left on my birthday.
Yeah.
We left on my birthday. I remember going to Alligators with my mom, Grandma Rose, and I'm pretty sure my Aunt Amy.
Side note, before we get into this story, can we just, I got to bring this story in here. It was a little bit before that. We had a show in Buffalo. And Ty and I, like pre this tour, Ty and I had already like turned 21. So
I was 20.
So we went to a casino afterwards where it was as long as you're playing, you can drink for free. Bobby had to sit in the fucking kiddie section the whole time while Ty and I got shitted.
Before Ryan goes along with this story, y'all have to understand how disrespectful they were to me. Not Ryan and Ty, but just they did me dirty. The casino staff did. They straight up put me in a little like child daycare.
They weren't even like, bro, yeah, you can go to this restaurant, you can eat. They're like, no, you got to go to the kiddie section.
Like, yeah, they straight up said, they're like, go. You fucking
there was no options.
There was no options. And like, I straight up got up there and there was like a bunch of like banjo kazooie games or some shit like that. But you could still see the entire fucking casino. So it's like, oh yeah, you know.
Let me just chill up here.
Yeah, and I remember literally watching these two fools down at the fucking blackjack table getting sloshed. Absolutely smashed, snapped out of their mind.
You had to drive home.
And I had to drive home. But the silver lining of this story,
forgot about that part.
The end of the night, I am livid. I'm blowing these guys' phone up. I'm in this kiddie section for like, I don't know, it was like 2 or 3 hours. I'm like, dude, let's get the fuck out of here. I can't do this anymore. Like, this is so dumb. These two are fucking hammered, right? And this was the night that Rye asked Ty to come on tour with us and be our DJ. And Ty had lost a bunch of money at the casino, right? Right?
Yeah, he had lost like, I'm not gonna say the number, but it was a substantial amount.
He had lost a decent amount. And as they were walking out, they just so happened to be passing by a roulette table. And Ty put how much?
Being Ty, $500 on red.
Yeah, $500 on red. Literally right before the fucking pit dude was about to spin the ball, motherfucker hits.
He's like, we're going on tour.
First thing he says, hits, we're going on tour.
Then proceeds to scream throughout the rest of the casino.
scream. We gonna get some cold cuts.
Security was like, "You gotta leave, sir." He's like, "I don't care. I just want a fucking $1,000." Security's like, "Okay, but you gotta leave." He's like, "I don't care. I just want a fucking $1,000. Who's gotta leave? I'm leaving with your money."
Oh, do you remember him spreading it up his arm?
Piss drunk in the backseat, falling asleep with money everywhere. Wakes up, "Where's my money?"
Where's my money? Oh my God. What a fucking time. Bro. Biggest tour mistake. All right. Bringing someone on tour that doesn't fit the vibe. You know who I'm talking about. Yeah. I'm not going to bring up any names, but you bring someone with a vibe and a frequency and just a mindset that doesn't click with the rest of the group, it is going to be a very unnecessarily stressful situation.
100%. It's a vibe kill. Especially when you bring somebody to do a job and they don't do their job.
100%. Like, you brought them with an expectation.
Mm-hmm.
And
but to that topic, first of all, like, it's not something that's for everybody. Like, you actually got to be engulfed in it.
Absolutely not. Like,
and also to that is like, I'm sure they had people in their ear. Why are you going with these guys? They ain't gonna do anything.
Oh, dude, 100%. Like, I would never be like, yo, that's fully on you.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, like, you just gotta, like, you really gotta make sure that everybody click.
100%.
Or so, you go out on the road with said group.
Yeah.
Because, like, if your unit isn't, like, fucking, you know, tight,
rock solid,
like, it can take some turns that just, like, it's a waste of, it's a waste of energy, and, like, you need all the energy you can get while you're on the road, because, bro, I can speak for myself and you on this, like, driving 8, 10, 12 hours, getting to a hotel, checking in, fucking showering, shaving, going to grab something quick to eat, and then going straight to sound check, doing the show, staying out till 2, 3 in the morning, partying, just to get up at 7, 8 in the morning, just to drive another 10, 12 hours.
Yeah.
Like, shit can be exhausting, man.
100%. And people look at it as like, oh, well, you're choosing to party. You're choosing to be out this late. That's literally at that stage of our career, that was part of the job.
That was part of the job.
Us networking and connecting with fans. And I love that part of the job, because that's how we connect.
I absolutely love it. The face-to-face with fans and supporters and shit. Like,
yeah, we can't do this if we don't have connection to people.
If we don't have that.
And also, it doesn't make sense to continue making something if you don't feel like you're connecting with people. So I want to connect with the people that I feel like I'm making it for, you know, like, I make it for myself because I would listen to it, but also, like, there's an undertone of, like, if I'm feeling this shit, somebody else is feeling this shit too.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, I don't know, like, especially as an artist, like, the biggest thing that, like, we're trying to accomplish is to connect to people.
Right. And, like, to that point, like, with that, bringing somebody on that didn't fit the vibe to do a job that they didn't do, how many people still around you are like that you tell, like, yeah, I'm still doing the music thing, or like, when are you gonna get a real job?
Oh, bro, the amount of people not in my life anymore, because I don't know, like, I cut all of that negative energy and shit out.
Facts.
Like, they would never really ask, like, when are you gonna get a new job? It'd always be the way that they would ask the question, like,
oh, is there any money in that?
Condescending. Well, that too, and, like, they'd just be condescending, like, oh, how's music going?
Right.
And it's just like, sorry, Stacy, I don't want to, you know, go and, like, sit in a cubicle, or, like, go and, like, sit in a bunch of meetings from 9 to 5. And, you know, and make, I don't know. I don't want to trade my time for a salary and then be like, this is the right decision, because, like, then I'm really that's capping yourself, bro. That's putting a ceiling
100%.
on you, you know?
It's like,
So like I'd rather be able to go out and do something that like I thoroughly enjoy and like brings a feeling of fulfillment in a way, like knowing that it's just like, damn, like I made something that people connect to.
100%.
And like, you know, people that fuck with this and shit. So it's just funny because like I used to look at it in such like a bad like light when people would like act and ask shit like that.
And
But
now I
like
just feel
really
bad for
like
you.
yeah, now I see that like that's coming from like something inside you that you are not okay with.
Yep.
You know, and like I feel bad for you.
Yeah. Like
Like
it's the weird, like it's the fucking goofiest thing. People have this affinity for these people are doing what they want to do. Let's talk shit about them. People have the weirdest affinity for this isn't a real job because if you're not working miserable hours, this isn't a real job because you don't have a fancy fucking job title. Or the
yeah.
fucking goofy thing now with the pandemic. Oh, if people weren't on unemployment, then people would be filling these jobs. No, literally, I hate that shit, first of all. Second of all, with the pandemic, people started realizing their self-worth. They were
Oh,
sitting, they were
100%.
they were sitting home during the shit. They're evaluating. Like, you have all this time, you're evaluating. You're like, you know what? This job is not worth this horseshit money.
Yeah.
I would rather be barely making it and be happy than be making this excess horseshit money to do this horseshit ass job where my
Oh,
employer doesn't
100.
give a fuck about me. There's this actual famous, like, there's this quote that I've seen a million times is, uh, my job will be posted before my obituary is.
Yeah.
Like, they will replace you in a second, but then they want to be mad when you don't want to work for a horseshit rate wage.
Yeah,
But the amount of people
100%.
who have like started their own businesses during this time, the amount of people who have learned how to work from home and make more money during this time, and the amount of people who just decided, hey, I'm going to switch careers altogether and go do something I actually like and probably make more money. No wonder people don't want to go work for $7 to $10 an hour. That's
Dude,
bullshit.
I completely agree, you know, like I don't know, my biggest like thing, especially when it comes to like jobs and shit like that. I just think it's funny that the employer and like society like made it normal to have to tell a corporation like, hey, I don't want to work for you anymore,
Right.
but I'll work for you for the next 2 weeks. So I give you time to find somebody to fill my position. But straight up, you could come into work on any given fucking Tuesday and they
Right.
could just look at you and be like, go home. We don't need you anymore. You're fired.
Legit.
And you got to deal with it.
Right. Or it's so fucking goofy when a job is like, okay, well, you get this much time off a year. Okay, I want to use some of my time off. Okay, but for what?
It's
I
my
don't gotta
time.
tell you.
Yeah.
I don't gotta tell you shit.
And like the thing that I don't understand with time off is like, where did we transition it from this is my time off to do what I want to do and like enjoy my time to I need to ask you to use my time and then you can therefore either accept no and deny it. Like you can straight up say like, hey, I know you want to go do this, but no.
Right. Like I've had those 9 to 5 jobs where it's like, am I working for you or do you own me? Because I have to ask you permission if I can go eat lunch. I have to ask you permission to take a mental health day. I have to ask you permission to go see my family. I have to ask you permission to take a shit on the clock, pretty much.
Yeah,
So
and
do you own
it's
me or do I work for you?
yeah, and it's just crazy
Because I'm
because
making you money, but you're
yeah,
not paying me money.
yeah,
This
right.
makes sense.
And then like I feel like a thing that we as a society actually kind of like took back during quarantine was the ideal that it's okay um that you shape your life around a job
Facts.
instead of you having a job shape their need for you around your
Facts.
life. And that's something that like makes me excited, especially like seeing it like in my friends and family and stuff like that. It's like,
100%.
yes, it's like finally like you are actually seeing that, like you need to actually live.
Right.
You aren't here living to work or working to live, like
Yeah.
your job. And that's another thing that I'll touch on real quick. Like your occupation, how you get money does not like
Define you.
define you at all.
It's not your
Like
image.
that's your bag. Like however you want to get your bag, bro. No shame. But
But also give yourself time to do shit when you clock out.
yeah, exactly. It's just like your job, like that pays your bills, bro.
Mm-hmm.
That pays your bills. Your
You're supposed
job
to
should pay like your
you're supposed
job
to do
should
more
pay
than just
your
pay your bills.
yeah, your job should pay your bills and maybe give you a little extra money to do shit with on the side. But
Mm-hmm.
like that's your bill payer. What is your passion?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people don't have that second asset.
And that's why people are so miserable at that idea.
Yes.
They don't have, okay, I clocked out of my job today. I went home. I was pissed off when I went home. So I did something I don't really enjoy, or I just sat there.
Yeah.
No
Like
wonder.
the amount of
And then
people that will walk in through their door, kick their shoes off, and just
the rest of the day,
in the rest of the day, they won't move.
like,
Someone will bring them food.
yep, you are not fulfilled doing that. And that's why you're miserable. That's why your job, people who do, a lot of people who do that think that job and that wage makes them better than everybody else.
And it
So
doesn't.
therefore they get threatened when somebody who works any other job makes a wage of $15 an hour, because a lot of like that factory job is paying you 18 to work your life away. So then they suddenly feel attacked. And it's just like, why don't you go either switch jobs and make more money someplace else where you actually enjoy it? Or why don't you fight? If you do enjoy it, why don't you fight to get some more money, or go work someplace else? Because there's a lot of fucking places that pay you more money. And the places that are paying more money and adapting that scheme are thriving.
Thriving, bro.
That cash flow will be coming in.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, especially like the people that think like a job title or like a degree on the wall,
yeah,
or like shit like that, like it makes you better than the person next to you because they don't have those things. It's like, no, like it does make you better in those assets. Like, yeah, you are better. You do have a degree, they don't. That
but what
makes you
about
better. And
better?
well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's better, like status, like, but that doesn't exactly. It's fictional.
Yep.
It's all fictional. It's like, okay, you have a degree, he doesn't. That's factual. That okay, like that looks better,
right?
But at the same time, like, okay, what makes you better? Like, honestly, like, yeah, you know a bunch of more stuff, okay, but I guarantee you that person knows a lot of stuff you don't know.
Right.
You may be better in different situations, but they are better than you in different situations.
Right. And if this person A who has that degree, or person A who has that, fancy ass job title, comes home, sits on their couch, pissed off. Person B doesn't have the fancy job title, has a job that they like, comes home, happy as fuck, goes and do something they like.
Yeah.
Bro, one person's enjoying life, one person's. So what's actually better there?
Bro, I've run into people that like are like baggers at Trader Joe's.
Happy as fuck.
And, bro, they're one of the happiest people I've ever met. I'm like, God damn, like, what are you doing? I want some of that.
Yeah, literally. Happy as fuck. You know why?
Because Trader Joe's pays their employees a livable wage and the work conditions are actually really good.
I mean, I didn't know that, but that's dope.
Yo, Trader Joe's hooks their employees up. Shout out Trader Joe's.
That's dope. Yeah, I didn't know that. I was going to say probably because they're not stressed the fuck out.
Oh, absolutely not. Tell me one person that you've ever seen in a Trader Joe's just like stressed. Like
literally,
never.
They're not dealing with horse shit that they're underpaid for.
Nope.
They're just like, I'm getting a bag.
Chilling.
I'm getting a bag. I'm going home.
Chilling, bro. Chilling.
Living life.
But yo, there's this quote that I've been seeing a lot lately. That I want to touch on a little bit and get your opinion on it. It is, you can't beat me. I want you to win too.
Yeah, I like it. That
mindset right there That mindset right there is a double-edged sword.
Is a what?
A double-edged sword.
Explain.
All right, so you can't beat me. I want you to win.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I understand you can't be beaten. Getting beat is all in a mind state.
Yeah.
Like losing is a mind state. You know, I want you to win. It's like, yeah, I want you to eat and shit. But like, listen, when it comes down to it, like I'm still coming for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like if my foot's on your neck, like I'm not gonna be like, I'm gonna let up. Like, nah. Like that's just how it is.
Right.
You know, like
that's fair. I can see that point. That's
like
kinda,
I don't know, like
it's kind of my interpretation
I like
too.
it. I like it, but it's just like I feel like it could be worded better.
Yeah, it's like if I want you to win, but if it gets to game 7, it's over for you.
Yeah, exactly. And then not only that, it's just like I
if
feel like the meaning that they're looking for behind it is like, yo, like nothing's really gonna disturb my peace because like I wish nothing but the best for everybody.
yeah, it would be better word if it was like, you can't starve me. I want you to eat, but if it's me versus you, I'm winning.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like if it's me versus you, like I'm not leaving hungry.
Right.
Straight up. Like I feel like that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah.
Like I just wanted to ask, like, you know, like what do you think of that?
Yeah, I think it's the same way. It's like I want everybody to win. I want everybody to get a bag.
Yeah.
But I'm too competitive to take an L.
Yeah, exactly. Like
only time I'm taking an L is if I'm smoking it.
Yeah, exactly. You know, like I would never wish or put hate on anybody. But like if it comes down to it, bro, like listen, I'm showing teeth. I'm hungry.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Speaking of sports references, Kanye is in the fucking stadium doing God knows what. He's just being filmed, like his crew's being filmed. He's being filmed napping.
Dude, he's in
Do you think we're getting Donda?
We are. He's in the stadium, and that's why he's there, so he can finish the album. Bro, have you seen some of the fucking leaks of him rewriting some of this shit?
Oh, they sound sick.
Bro, you saw that leak of Donda, right?
Bro, yeah. Nasty. He's otherworldly creatively. Supposedly by the time this podcast airs, the album will have already been dropped.
Sensational.
I'm hoping, because I'm trying to bump that shit.
Bro, there is definitely something that I want to bring up. Bro, let's chat a hot second. Jack Harlow, bro. Jack Harlow.
What's popping?
Mans is it.
That come up's crazy. Should we tell a funny story about Jack Harlow?
Yes. You tell it because I don't remember that night.
Neither does Tyler.
Yeah.
We were opening on tour for Cam Meekins. And the guy,
little did we know,
yeah,
Cam Meekins was opening for, drum roll, please, Jack Harlow.
So there was one of my friends. He books all of my shows. His name's Kato. Not all of our shows, but he books quite a few of them. The first, like, we met him in St. Louis at a Webby show. Ended up managing us for a little bit.
What an adventure!
Yeah, what a time. So we're in Louisville, and Kato tells us, you know, like there's this high school local kid. He sells a shit ton of tickets. He's super dope for such a young age. I think he was 16 at the time.
Nah, dude, he was 15.
Yeah, 15. Yeah, 15 at the time.
He was like 14 or 15 because the show had to be super early.
Yeah, that's right. Because there was a curfew on it, and you and I had just turned 20 or 21.
Yeah,
we had just turned 21.
Yeah.
So we're on tour with Cam, and Kato's like, yeah, dude, there's this super dope high school kid opening for them. He sold the tickets out of his backpack. His name, Jack Harlow. Thought nothing of it. We're like, okay, this kid's dope. He's got his whole high school behind him. Yeah, he's super dope. He's gonna be something. 2-3 years later, drops that fucking Sundown song, and this motherfucker's everywhere.
Everywhere, bro.
I remember Bobby and I look at each other because this is before he went west. We were like, is this the motherfucker that was in high school that we opened for that one time?
Sure
like,
was.
Yeah. Like,
Bro,
damn, he don't come out.
yeah, he came up. I picked back up on him when he dropped Dark Knight.
Yeah, I remember that
I
shit
remember
too.
he dropped Dark Knight, and I think it was like 16 or 17. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember I'm like, yo, because I remember I sent you the song.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yo, look. And you were like, yo.
Yeah.
And then he dropped fucking, I think it's Gazebo,
Mm-hmm.
his one project. Um, and then I can't remember his other project's name, but like he dropped those two projects back to back
Mm-hmm.
years. And then I remember that's when he started getting picked up by Generation Now and DJ Drama.
Yeah. And I think that point was like we had hit a point where we had toured, but the music like was in this weird space where it was like growing pains. You could tell like our music was in
100%.
growing pains.
Yeah.
And I think seeing that ignited another spark. Like this actually is possible. You
Yeah.
know?
And then another story, short but sweet, Arizona Zervis.
Yeah. He
Opened
ended
with
up
him in,
Phoenix.
I was gonna say, yeah, it was in Arizona.
Yeah.
And he went on before us.
Yeah.
He went on before
And he
us.
blew the fuck
And
up too. And it's like,
yeah, Roxanne popped off on TikTok.
and we've gone by this mind state since day one is like if we do a show, whether there's one person, 10,000 people there, if you make one new fan a day, it's one fan closer.
Yeah, there's one fan closer. And plus, like, if you go by the rules of 10, 3 people are gonna love it, 3 people will hate it, and 4 people won't care about it.
Yep. And also, if you make a song a day, every artist is one song away from their life changing.
Yeah, exactly. Like, you never know. Like, we could take a snippet from this podcast right now and it could blow.
Mm-hmm.
It could blow.
People be like, who the fuck is this guy?
For zero fucking reasons other than
it caught an algorithm wave.
Yeah, it caught an algorithm wave, and a collective group of people were like, huh, this intrigues me enough that I feel the need to tell somebody.
Yep. It's like, oh, what do you think about this, bro? Share.
Yeah.
Share. All of a sudden, we viral.
And like whenever anyone shares something, I feel like you get an endorphin rush. The fact that you're anticipating someone to react to it.
Yeah.
You're craving that gratification of like, somebody feels the same way that I do. And dude, that's why social media is fucking poison, bro. That shit is poison.
I think social media is a poison. Like it definitely like adds to that. But I also think like with social media, the whole population is getting a taste of how it feels as an artist to have something received.
Oh, 100%, bro. 100%. But my biggest quarrel with social media is, dude, it's not the people that are like, oh, I'm getting bullied, bro. Just don't look at your phone or your computer.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's not hard. Just like don't go online. Like,
I mean, if you're a social media bully, then you're a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, you're square. Like you're a little bitch. But like 9.5 out of 10 people that are social media bullies
don't leave their house.
Well, not even don't leave their house, bro. They're not gonna say this shit to you in person.
Facts.
Like you're gonna pass them in whatever social setting, and what's the worst they're gonna do? Look at you weird? They're not gonna start anything.
Right.
They're keyboard warriors. And then like I don't know. I just feel like with social media, why I say it's poison, like it's not poison. That's a double-edged sword too. It's very, very, very beneficial and it's very cool, but at the same time, it can be very grueling and very mean and a very hurtful place. But that's all on how you perceive it, because like, dude, everything's based off perception.
The thing that I like try to tell people is like, social media isn't going anywhere. It's a thing that's here to stay. But it's
no, social media is not going anywhere. It's growing.
Yes, but it is up to you as the user. Are you using social media as a tool to grow yourself, your business, to make yourself income, to get away from a situation you hate? Are you using it to fuel the anger for something you hate? Are you using it as a crutch to escape something you hate? Or are you using it to talk shit on people because you hate yourself? I prefer to use it as a tool personally.
100%. It's literally like that's what it is. It's not even social media. It's the internet, bro. Like think about it. Our generation is like, I'm pretty sure we were the first generation to be born like right at the tail end of pre-internet era.
Yeah, we saw pre and like current.
Huh?
We saw like pre like internet age, and we're also seeing we saw the come up of the internet age. We saw the first people who like went viral and shit.
We are the first generation to have actually grown up with the internet.
Fucking AOL Instant Messenger.
And like, bro, like, yo, I remember the early days of the internet.
That shit was brutal.
Bro, 2012 Twitter. 2012 Twitter. Nobody would survive today. Everybody on Twitter would have been canceled.
2009 AOL Instant Messenger away messages.
Yo, peeps in the hood, find me on there. That's my AIM name, bro. I still get on that shit. No, I'm playing. I ain't been on that shit.
Does that shit even exist anymore?
I don't know, bro. It's AIM, bro. I remember running home every day after school just to get on. Ding.
I remember running my parents' cell phone bill up because I downloaded the AIM app.
Bro, I had so many girlfriends. I had girlfriends on AIM. I had girlfriends on Yahoo.
You were the one of the digital pimp pioneers.
Oh, 100%, bro.
So that Playboy hoodie you're wearing reigns true.
Bro, I was spitting
the original Playboy.
Dude, I was ruthless. Like looking back, it's like hella cringe. It's hella cringe, but I was ruthless. I was sliding into early on DMs, just being like, "Hey, yo, listen, you fine."
Cat abs open.
Like straight up, like you fine, come through. And bro, like I got hella good responses out of it. Shorty was just like, "I bet."
But okay. Not to keep going back to like career shit.
Nah, you good.
But think about that. Because I was kind of the same way as a kid. Fearless, to slide in messages with anything. How translative has that been to our music career? Because aside from touring, most of our fan base has literally grown from what they tell you not to do on Twitter. Sliding in people's DMs, asking for them to listen to your shit.
Ruthless.
Doing exactly everything that we've done, like come up wise, that has put us to this point is by doing exactly what they told us not to do.
Dude, absolutely ruthless when it came to that type of shit. Literally like going on following sprees to the point where Twitter was like, you can't follow any more people today.
Yeah.
And doing that for months straight.
Right. Like, and hey,
every single new follow. Check out my music. Check like tens of thousands of people.
And to the point where it's like,
shit.
Hey, do you want to check out my music? No, bro, you probably whack. All right, well, here's my links anyways in case you check it out. 4 days later, yo, bro, I'm sorry I was addicted to you, but that shit was actually kind of fire. I followed you.
Yep. Bro, and like, dude, I remember it fucking getting done with like work and shit. And like coming over to your place, or you'd come over to my place. We'd be in the studio from whenever we got off, which was usually later night because we was working the service industry jobs.
Yep. We would be in that studio till 4 or 5 in the morning. Bro, being in the studio till McDonald's breakfast used to open before it was 24/7.
And then literally, as soon as we left the studio, we'd go to fucking McDonald's, get McGriddles, and the entire time just like, dude, the grind never stopped.
Literally, it was
never stopped.
It was necessary, but it was brutal.
It was brutal. But dude, those are the times I feel like I took for granted.
Yeah.
Because like, dude, we had the time.
Yep.
To be doing that. Like now, like, bro, can you imagine trying to do that shit now?
Bro, I still do the shit now.
Bro, I'd be so tired.
The way I mean, I'm always tired, but the way I look at it is like, I can either be on my phone scrolling.
Yep.
Or I can be on my phone sending people my shit.
Well, dude, the way that I look at it is the amount of people that don't understand. It's like, yo, you literally hold something in your hand. It's on your person every day, all day.
You have a tool
your entire life. And they use it as like a fun go-go machine. Like, bro, that's the best tool like in human creation.
When they say you have the world in your palms, you literally have it in your palms.
Like literally, you could become a millionaire off of a fucking mobile phone.
100%. And like a lot of people who are like artists or like people who listen to a lot of artists, and actually, no, I won't even say that. If you listen to a lot of artists and you're a music connoisseur, you are very open to somebody sliding in your DM saying, hey, do you want to check out my music? Like a lot of typical fans are very receptive to somebody saying, hey, I'm trying to make it in music. Do you want to check out my shit? They will gladly click on your Spotify or Apple Music.
Oh, 100%.
The people who are like, nah, bro, that's not how you're supposed to market are also artists. But these artists aren't realizing, hey, dude, you know what? If I slide into this person's DMs, I mean, I used to be a baseball player, right? So the 3 out of 10 rule. If you get 3 out of 10 people to click, you're batting 300 and you're going to the Hall of Fame.
100%.
You know what I mean?
You're a Hall of Fame. You're a Hall of Fame.
Yeah. So if I can send 1,000 DMs a day, or Twitter rules are different now. So even if I send 100 DMs a day and I get these different people to click on it every single day, and I get this amount of people to click on it per week, Spotify's algorithm literally rewards the outside traffic to Spotify.
Yeah.
So you're getting this many people to click in, potentially follow you, listen to your music, and stream your music just from the outside from Twitter. But then you're getting Spotify's algorithm to work for you, to pop you in, Discover Weekly, Release Radar, My Daily Mix, all these other algorithmic things that they open it up for. And then you can, from there, earn money that you can in there go to upping your quality and then recycling it. But no, people want to be like, nah, that's not how you're supposed to do it. You're not supposed to market that way. It's never going to work. You can't spam people into it. And then they get a $30 bag and then they go spend it on beer, or they go spend it on fucking McDonald's and don't put it back into their shit.
Dude,
if you want to be a music business, treat it like a business.
Dude, one of the best pieces of advice I got told, I can't remember who fucking told me this, but whoever did, like, shout out you. They straight up said, like, how many episodes of a show will you watch in a single sitting? And I remember like looking at them like, what? And they're like, you just got home from like work or whatever, and you're just chilling. Like, you want to watch a little bit of TV. How many episodes will you watch? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, if I'm into it, like, I'll sit there the rest of the night and just watch TV some days.
Right.
And they're like, all right, what's the average length of an episode of TV? I'm like, I don't know, probably like 20, 30 minutes. And they're like, yeah. And like 20, 30 minutes seems like a long time while you're watching the show. I'm like, yeah. They're like, start looking at life in a different angle and start looking at what can you do to progress yourself in any way. It doesn't have to be in a specific way, but what can you do to better yourself within the timing of an episode of TV?
100%.
And like, think about it, like, dude, 20, 30 minutes, you may like look at it and be like, oh, that's not a lot of time. Bro, 20, 30 minutes, you can get a lot of shit done.
20, 30 minutes, I can write a verse. 20, 30 minutes, I can send 100 DMs. 20, 30 minutes, I can send 50 emails.
Dude, 20, 30 minutes is huge. But going back to it, like,
you also sometimes got to give yourself that as a break too, if you're working all the time. But look at it. Sorry to cut you off.
No, you're good.
But like, if you look at it this way, is like when you get home for some, like, this is the thing that I like, because a lot of the people that have something negative to say about what you and I do are people like you and I. They absolutely hate their job and they're absolutely fucking miserable.
Yeah.
And they come home, they sit there in front of whatever, they play video games, they watch TV, however they decompress. And the thing that I always say to them is like, what is your actual dream? What is your actual goal? What do you want to do? And they're like, okay, and I'm like always giving like responses to how literally from your phone while you're watching something, you could be working towards that, you know? And then they have excuse after excuse after excuse. And it's like, you are over here yelling at people saying, take these horseshit jobs while those people are working towards shit they like. And then you're pissed off because you're not fulfilled, because you're not inspired. That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, dude, another thing that I want to talk about too is the legalization of weed in athletics and shit like that. Like, dude, like the shit that happened with Sha'Carri Richardson, that's fucked up, bro. Like, she is one of the fastest women on this planet, and she literally got told she could not go and compete in the Olympics solely because she smoked a plant.
Literally.
Or like maybe she ate an edible. But like still, like the thing is like she literally got told no, you can't go to the Olympics,
right?
Because you got high off of weed, and it's just like, are you fucking serious?
And literally, even more. What up, puppy? I see you over there with the ball. The even more fucked up thing about that is like, first of all, based on how the Olympics is going this year, how valid are they really, anyways? Yeah. The second, but it's an honor nonetheless to go there and be there. Say she smoked weed because she was in pain, right?
Yep.
Had she taken a Percocet, she'd be fine.
Yep.
That Percocet 100%. Has addictive qualities, is going to destroy your body, and could potentially destroy your life, and literally could kill you. And marijuana does none of that.
Literally, all she would need if she like had to take a drug test and Percocet came up on it is a prescription that she was prescribed Percocet, and they'd be like, okay,
100%.
But because you had THC in your blood, you are now denied.
100%. And it's the same thing with like all pro sports, same thing with Olympic sports. It's a plant that is scientifically proven to 1, relieve pain, 2, relieve anxiety, 3, help with depression, 4, help with eating disorders. And because there is a bigger pharmaceutical return on painkillers, they would prefer to. And side note, before I even go there, the amount of people who have formed addictions to these types of medicines,
dude, and
because they can't take weed, addiction, because they can't smoke or ingest THC because it's illegal in whatever their profession is.
It's off a freak accident too. It's people go and get injured, and then they're like, "Yo, you're gonna have pain," and instead of being like, "Hey, you can take THC and then like it'll actually help,"
right?
And it's not addictive. Here is some opiates,
literally,
that you are going to take for the next several weeks, and then we're just going to stop giving you them.
Yep. Where does that make sense? Nowhere. Why? I can smoke a fucking joint before bed, wake up, have a productive ass day, I slept great, and I don't crave a joint.
Yep.
If I was to, I had my wisdom teeth out and they gave me Vicodin. I took Vicodin for 2 days. First of all, I hated it. But second of all, third day came around and I wanted it.
Yeah. You're like, fuck, I want to take that.
So what I do to get rid of that feeling? Threw them away and then smoked a fucking joint.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I remember growing up, everyone would say like, oh, marijuana is a gateway drug. And it's like, bro, like,
first of all, don't tell me
and it's like yes and no. It's like some people can smoke marijuana and then they're like, cool, I want to try every drug.
Yeah.
And that's their own personal choice. Like no one, like I would not like hit this bong for like the first time and be like, wow, this is what weed feels like. I can only imagine what fucking black tar heroin feels like. Like, no, like nobody fucking does that. And
no.
If you do, you're a demon. You're the Antichrist. I'm sorry. Like you probably have 666 sketched in the back of your head. But the thing is just like, bro, weed is so beneficial to us.
The drama.
Weed is so beneficial. Like, dude, every part of the plant
can be used.
Is useful. Come, like, bro, hemp. You know how strong that shit is,
bro. Don't even get me started. Like, if I don't sit there and tell me that marijuana is a drug or harmful to you. If you get out of work, drink wine, eat Doritos, or drink a soda.
That shit's bad for
you. Right. Marijuana will not hurt you. That fucking soda, on the other hand, that can literally take rust off of a car, that's great for you.
Like, I don't
Y'all make no sense.
I don't think that people really understand the amount of sugar inside of a can of Coca-Cola.
No, not at all.
Everybody, we're going for a ride. My computer's dying. I need to get to a charging position.
First episode hurdles. No, that's a valid fucking point, and you're absolutely right. It makes zero sense, and it all boils down to what we've been talking about earlier, and it's people's perceptions.
100%.
And it's all based on people want to have something to say or to think about you to decoy what people could say about them.
Oh, 100%. Oh, this isn't half bad. Everybody look at my living room. If you want, there's a compass that is not right, but you can try it if you want. You're not going to get to where you're going.
You look like you're about to give a hand job tutorial.
Okay, everybody. But yeah, dude, I don't know. It's like when it comes to my stance on marijuana,
smoke weed every day.
When I was being raised, drugs weren't really, it wasn't like a hush-hush topic in like either of my households, you know, like being that my mom and my dad were separated. Like if I had questions, it was openly talked about, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I like heard it in the music they listened to. I saw it on TV, in the movies, and you know, like I feel like there's a large group of people that are like, oh my God, like children shouldn't be exposed to that. They're so innocent. And it's just like my stance on that is just like, bro, you need to let your child like live and like experience the new things. It's just like a newborn baby. Dude, their immune system is shit. They build it by interacting with shit. By fucking, dude, look at a baby. They pick anything up and put it in their mouth.
Yeah.
Anything. You know? You have to be able to let your child saturate themselves in experience.
Yeah.
But also know when to be like, okay, you don't need to experience this yet.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, I don't think it needs to be a conversation until it's a conversation, but also like it needs to not be frowned on, you know?
Yeah, exactly. You know, like, I don't know. And then like the first time that I smoked weed I was 13, 14. And it was with my aunt and a couple friends. And shout out Aunt Marg. And yeah, I remember that, and it was cool. Yeah. Like it was cool. Like I had a good time. Like it wasn't like crazy. I didn't die. I had a sore throat the next day, but it was because we were smoking from a bowl. Like just
right. Like the thing is, it ain't hurting anybody.
Yeah, it wasn't hurting anybody, and it's not like the next day I was like, oh my God, I need a bowl, bro. Like,
and it wasn't like the next day, oh, I did weed yesterday. Let me do crystal meth.
Yeah, exactly. I wasn't like, hey, yo, Pop, you got that 8-ball on you still? Give me a rail, baby. Like, no, it wasn't that shit. It was like, oh, I smoked weed. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And like,
you know,
especially like in a place like where we're from, and like there's a lot of small towns across this country. Like, luckily we've been exposed to a lot of things through touring. Our eyes have opened a lot from that small area mindset that we came from.
Man, and small-minded.
Yeah. And like living in cities, living in bigger places has inevitably changed us for the better.
Yo, I remember, sorry to cut you off.
Yeah, you're good.
I remember when I first moved to California up in San Francisco. I remember the first night in my like new apartment and everything, like thinking to myself, like, yo, fuck, I live in San Francisco, man. And it's not like I lived out in like the Richmond or the Sunset District. Like I lived in the Tenderloin, you know?
Yeah.
Like I lived like right in the shit. And it was extremely busy, I remember. Like just like thinking to myself, like, holy fuck, there's people everywhere. But then also on the other hand, like I had so many preconceived ideas of like
what this shit was.
City was going to be.
Right.
And then once I saw it for what it was, I was just like, wow.
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Like,
mind opening.
I've been lied to.
Facts.
Like, dude, the realization when you start questioning your own core beliefs, like,
yeah,
dude, such a moment of growth.
100%. And like to even like speak on like that on a like smaller scale, like people look at us and like in places like where we're from, like where we stay at now, like people like are on the same wavelength as us. Like we're like people look at us like back home and in small towns across the world, like with our mind state, they're like, y'all are fucking nuts. But like to that same extent is like, do you remember the disconnect between like literally just you and I for that short time that I lived in Nashville before I went back to our town? It was like massive because I had been exposed, and then touring, we hit the same wavelength.
Yep.
Then it flip-flopped when you went to San Fran and I was home.
Yeah.
And then I came out to LA and then like same wavelength. So it's like literally like you see shit, you grow.
Yep.
And your mind just grows. It's a human evolution. And if you're stuck in one place, it's the shark tank analogy. If you put a shark in a small ass body of water, it's gonna grow as big as it can in that body of water.
Yep.
You put a shark in the ocean, that thing's gonna become a fucking monster.
Yeah. You will never outgrow your surroundings.
Absolutely. And like, you got to challenge yourself to grow and challenge yourself to push yourself and challenge yourself to be the best version of yourself. Otherwise, the second you stop growing is the second you stop doing anything you want to fucking do.
Dude, 100%.
Second you stop becoming better.
Yeah. And like Najee and I, we're talking about this the other day. Like, I feel like there's so many people trying to be the best someone else.
Yep.
And not the best themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like so many people are chasing the ideal of another person or the status of another person.
Yeah, that's
just like, bro, effect. It's like, I understand what you're going for. You're going about it the whole totally like wrong way. Like you are so in a way like you almost want to copy somebody.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't copy and paste a life.
Yeah, and it's just like, bro, it's like if you want that, cool, but that's someone else's version of it.
If you want that lifestyle, you can do something to obtain that lifestyle, but it doesn't mean you need to obtain. It doesn't mean you need to acquire that person's thoughts.
Exactly, and not only that, it's just like I don't know.
Yeah,
it's just like that lifestyle, like you said, it's very attainable. It's just
you gotta put your
path there may be different.
You gotta put your spin on it. You gotta put a rap on it. Yeah. Speaking of rap, I think that's a great place too. So this is a wrap for the first episode of the Sundaze Brunch. We'll be back every Sunday with a new episode.
Yes, sir.
We do encourage that you send us mimosa recommendations or similar great breakfast drinks.
Oh, yes, yes.
We do recommend, or not recommend, we do encourage you to send us great breakfast ideas. I don't eat meat, but Bobby does. So send vegan options also.
No pork, bro. No pork.
So send some vegan options also. And most importantly, just make sure you guys tune in. And hashtag brunches for the boys.
Brunches for the boys. And hashtag Sundaze Brunch, baby.
Hashtag Sundaze Brunch. We'll catch you guys next week.
Everybody, before we log out, sorry to cut you off, right? Send in shit you'd like to hear about.
Absolutely. Send some topics. Send some
topics.
If you have questions on songs that we've done, if you have questions on certain shit, we'll make sure that we address it.
And also, in the upcoming episodes, Ryan and I will be talking a little bit about new releases that we have coming up.
For sure.
Current projects that we are working on. But other than that, thank y'all for tuning in. We'll catch y'all next Sunday. Again, I am Bobby.
I'm Ryan, and this is the Sundaze Brunch.
Yeah.